are paying. Under my leadership, the United States will fully support Israel defeating, dismantling, and permanently destroying the terrorist group Hamas. Thank you very much. And I'm glad it's such, because this is the worst microphone I think I've ever had. I hope you can hear me back there. Justin, don't pay the bill for this mic. I'm blowing out my voice talking to this stupid mic. This is the worst mic I've ever had. Okay, now we'll get back to the speech. I'm trying to get their attention. Turn up the mic. Is it okay? And then I don't pay a bill, and they say, Trump doesn't pay his contractors. You know, it's unbelievable. It's a rotten, lousy mic. The state of it, but it's not my deal. It's not my deal. I have a good mic. I always have. You don't have a good mic, it's a very difficult deal. You walk out for 2 weeks, you're talking, you say, what the hell happened to his voice? The state of Israel is a blessing to the world. Our prayers are with them now in this terrible, terrible time. Ziggy, that's great. Ziggy, you're amazing. One of the greatest people in the world, Ziggy. She's got more. Look at her. She's crying. We love her. You got the greatest woman, the greatest wife. Under my leadership, we will stand with Israel 100%, and we will not let them fail. Don't forget, you know, I did have a bad experience with Israel, though. When we took out Soleimani, it was us and Israel working as a group, and we knew where he was. We knew how he was coming in. We knew the plane. We knew everything. We worked on it for weeks, for months, actually, but we worked on it for weeks. And the night before, no, I don't think this has ever been told. They'll say, oh, it's classified information. Well, maybe it is, but I don't think so. The night before this happened, and by the way, Biden's got a lot of problem with those documents. He's moving them to Chinatown. He's moved them all over. I didn't. And I come under the Presidential Records Act. He doesn't. He doesn't, because he was vice president and he was a senator. As a senator, you're not allowed to do it. As a president, I am, because I come under the president. I can do whatever I want, but I did nothing wrong. And then they go after me, but they don't go after him. But we'll see what happens. But with all of the different things that happened, we took abuse like nobody, and we had to do this because we heard Soleimani was going to be blowing up 5 of our really big military bases in areas all over the Middle East. He was going to be blowing them up. He was a very bad guy, very smart guy, but very bad guy. He was the leader of their military for a long time. In fact, the Ayatollah, they were all afraid of him. I actually think they were happy when this happened, okay? I think they were happy. I remember the Prime Minister of Pakistan said to me it was the biggest event in the history of the Middle East. This is big stuff. This was a big event. He said, I left my office, Khan, a very good man. He left his office. He said, I went home. This was the biggest event in my life. And he was a great cricket player. He was like the Willie Mays, the Mickey Mantle, the Babe Ruth of cricket. He was a great cricket player. He became handsome guy, great guy. He became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He said, when I heard that he was dead, this was the biggest event I've ever seen, I've ever been involved in. And I left my office and I went home for 1 week and I contemplated. He said, I've never seen anything like it. It was big stuff. This was much bigger than anybody, but we had to do it. He was going to blow up our installations all over, kill many people, many, many people, and wounded people beyond recognition. And Israel was going to do this with us, and it was being planned and working on it for months, and now we had everything all set to go. And the night before it happened, I got a call that Israel will not be participating in this attack. Nobody's heard this story before, but I like to tell it to Club 47 because you've been so loyal and so beautiful. And I said, what does this mean? We're working on it with them. Why? They didn't tell us why, sir, but they're not doing it. This was a day before. I said, I don't like that. That's not good. I looked at one of my generals who was fantastic, a warrior. I'm telling you, we have unbelievable military, unbelievable warriors. Just not the guys you see on television. They're real stiffs, real dopes. But these guys are warriors. They don't want to be on television. They want to win fights, okay? They want to win battles. And I said to him, General, what do you want to do? Sir, we can do whatever you'd like to do, sir. We can finish it ourselves, sir, if you'd like. I said, well, do we need them? Not at all, sir. I said, so what do you want to do, General? Sir, we have it under control if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, we understand. Whatever you say, sir, is okay with us. I said, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because what this guy did to our soldiers, what this guy did to so many people, including many civilians, including many of his own people, just blew them to pieces by the tens of thousands. Let's do it. And he came on the plane, and we followed him right from the Situation Room. We followed the whole thing, and about 15 seconds later, it was all over, and we did it. But I'll never forget that Bibi Netanyahu let us down. That was a very terrible thing, I will say that. And so when I see sometimes the intelligence, you talk about the intelligence, or you talk about some of the things that went wrong over the last week, they've got to straighten it out, because they're fighting potentially a very big force. They're fighting potentially Iran. And when they have people saying the wrong things, everything they say is being digested by these people, because they're vicious and they're smart. And boy, are they vicious, because nobody's ever seen the kind of sight that we've seen. Nobody's ever seen it. But they cannot play games. So we were disappointed by that, very disappointed. But we did the job ourselves, and it was absolute precision, magnificent, beautiful job. And then Bibi tried to take credit for it. That wasn't good. That didn't make me feel too good, but that's all right. So they got to strengthen themselves up, because they're fighting a big force. And, you know, Iran's got close to a 3 million person army, military. That's big stuff. You know, that's no longer the minor leagues. We had them so in check, they wouldn't do a thing against us. They wouldn't do a thing. They wanted to make a deal so badly. If that election wasn't rigged, we would have had that thing done so fast, and you wouldn't have any of these problems. But you would have never, ever had anybody attacking Israel if I were president. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. And when you look at the death, I mean, hundreds of Israeli soldiers are dead. Hundreds of people in their homes, they were attacked. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Nobody thought it was possible. And so they're going to have to step up their game, and the United States is going to have to step up its game, because we're really led by the wrong people. We're led by people that don't know what's happening, and they don't know how to lead, and they're not respected, and it's a very hard thing. But it could ultimately lead to World War III. A man who's incapable, a man who's got virtually no brain, a man who shouldn't be in that position could very well lead us into World War III. And this is weaponry, the likes of which nobody in this room can even imagine. Weaponry that's so powerful that it's the obliteration of the world. It could be the obliteration of the world.